All right, everybody. So it's been a long day, and we've been working very hard to get this all ready for you so that you can roll it out and you can install it and you can get working on this. But I wanted to go through the software very quickly for you so that you can see how the system operates and what the logic was in how it was designed. Okay. So, what we're going to do, and this is going to work exactly the same whether or not you are working on a PC or on a Mac, the script works identical. The other piece of software that I'm going to be using here is Photo Mechanic, which is an amazing program for just very quick viewing and sorting and type of thing. If you haven't experienced Camera Bytes Photo Mechanic, it's a definite must-have in your photo repertoire. But anyways, I'm going to be using that to be able to showcase the results and the source files that we have. And I'm also going to be going through and showing you some of the actions and how the functions of the script actually happen here. So let's jump over into the script, and I will share my screen again, and we will go through it. Okay. I would say put up your hand if you have any questions along the way, but send me an email to james at senditbyjames.com, or you can hit me up at my jamesvanhees.ca site, or Instagram me at jamesphoto.com. Wherever you can find me, go ahead, hit me up. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions on anything that you have going this way. So let's do a share screen on the Adobe Photoshop. And so let's go here. You should be seeing my Photoshop gallery. Just one second. I have a cat who is freaking out. All right, that's taken care of. And let's go here to scripts, and we can just go down here to version 4, SENDIT version 4. You see I have a few different versions here, but SENDIT version 4 is the one to do. And then you will recall that we had set up a quick shortcut, and I just used that right there in order to bring up the application. Okay, so depending on your screen and what's going to happen when you first install it, you may have the default values that are attributed to the application. So at the time of building this application, you can hit this little question mark here. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit just so you see what's going on. If you hit this little question mark right here, it's going to restore it to all its default values. So just go ahead and hit that. And this may be what you have when you first open up the app, and we'll go through all of these. So let's jump up first. We have two opportunities here to do source. We can choose individual files here, or we can choose multi-files. Okay, so we can choose one file to operate and do a series of movements or recipes apply, or instructions to do different crops or whatever, or we can do a full folder of those, and I'm going to show both of those in action. You can import TIFFs, PSDs, and JPEGs into the script. It'll accept all of those. And then you have the opportunity, here's the result folder. You can select the folder that you want to have everything go into. So here, my one right now is called test folder, but I can go ahead and create any folder here that I want, create a new folder, and that will be my output folder for this. And actually, in our case, I will go ahead and go into my desktop, and I'm going to go, actually, I'll go back one. And I will create a new folder, and I'll call this test results 2. And I'll just create that there and open. so we can see test results too. So the one thing that you may have heard is that we organize the images that you create for you. So, as well as whenever we have a setting or a preset that we've done, this one's called Facebook profile picture. Um, Whatever the output image is, it will have Facebook profile picture put automatically at the end of that file. So your client and yourself will know specifically that this file has been resized specifically to that criteria. It's not going to have the 196 by 196 on there. It'll just have the name Facebook profile picture. And if I hit this create subfolders, it will actually create a subfolder called Facebook profile pictures. So for my clients, I have Facebook stories, Instagram post. Um, I have LinkedIn profile and I have LinkedIn posts and I have different sizes that I will have for my clients. So I shoot with a very large 100 megapixel camera. There's no reason on earth that my clients need 100 megapixels for a headshot. So I will give them half size or quarter size files, and I can set that up in here to take my finished file and then give them a quarter size file, which is still 25 megapixel headshot, which is more than enough than they're going to need for real estate signs or any web-based thing. Um, and I have like a full recipe card for specific clients and specific industries. So even if I was doing something like a yearbook or whatever, a school with a bunch of teachers, and I need stuff for yearbook, and I need stuff for the teachers' plaques, and I need stuff for their social media, and I need something for their Microsoft Teams, and I need whatever. I can create all these recipes here in this app and then just automatically run it. So next time I need that group of outputs, I can just recall that and I can use those. So but creating the subfolders, circling back, creating the subfolders allows me to organize even more. So my clients aren't just getting one folder with a bunch of images in it. They're getting one folder, and inside of that one folder is individual folders with precisely what the use of those files inside of that, what it contains. Okay. So let's just say I had a setting here, Instagram profile picture. That was one that I wanted them to have. They'll have a folder called Instagram profile pictures, and inside of there will be all the files specifically for Instagram profile only, and it will be named Instagram profile picture as well. I'll show you that in a little bit. So I can choose to create subfolders as we go through. Right off the default, you have 40, I think it's 40, 42 some odd settings or something like that available to you. Interesting, just in the news, this Facebook profile and Facebook stories may not be a thing. We're not quite sure, but at the time of development, that was a thing. So those two are in there. There you have different Facebook ones. You have X settings. You have Instagram settings. There's like 13 different Instagram settings for image sizes. Who knew? LinkedIn has a bunch here. What do we have? 5 or 6 for LinkedIn. YouTube, 4 or 5 for there. A whole bunch for Pinterest and Snapchat as well. So those are the main ones, but that doesn't mean that you're limited to those by any stretch of the imagination. You can go ahead and create all of your own profiles that you want to do. So let's say I don't want to do any of these ones. Okay. So I can select all of these. I can select all and I can just X them out, right? So that none of these will actually apply to what I want to do. I can even just come up here and I can just remove them altogether from my from my whole thing. I can go ahead and do that and just get rid of them. If I want to bring them back, no problem. Just hit this revert to default and they will all come back again. So let's create my own settings here that I may want to do. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on add and it's going to come up with this custom. This is just a default setting. And let's go first. What I want to do is I want to do circle crops of my photos for my clients. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one called, let's just call it a big ol' circle. Okay, that's my first one. It's going to be a JPEG output. I can output PNGs, TIFFs, or PSDs. Okay. If I do PNGs, just know that you can do a transparency on a PNG, but it's going to take a little longer for it to actually output that image. It's just in the calculations in Photoshop. PNGs take a little longer than doing JPEGs or any of the other ones. So I'm just going to leave it at a JPEG for now. And I can choose the quality rating from 0 to 100. I think we're all familiar with those type of scales. Anything 80 and above is subjective at best, typically. So I just have it set at 100 here just to get maximum file bits and bytes. Image size. Image size is where I can specifically say what I want that output image to be. So if I have criteria of, we saw it earlier, there was a Facebook profile picture and it was like 168 by 168. I could go ahead and set this in here and it would only produce an image. It would do the crop, it would do all that other resizing specifically to 168. Okay. If I choose to do on a percentage basis, all I have to do is get rid of these criteria, image size, and just allow the percentage to stand, and that will take over. But whatever value I have here, it will take over, it will replace the values in this scale slider. Okay, so scale is king unless there's any quantities in here. Okay. So far I've said, let's take 100% of the image, whatever that image may be, and we're going to do a circle inside of there. That's what I want to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to crop ratio. It's defaulted to custom, but you can choose none. So it's just going to replace the existing crop that's there. Let's say it was a 16 by 9. In this case, if I did none, it would just replace it with 100% 16 by 9. It's not going to do anything. Okay. But if I want a custom crop, and I do because I want a circle, and I don't want a circle within a 16 by 9. I just want a nice tight circle. So I'm just going to do a 1-to-1 here. And I have this subject aware and center. Okay. So this is where the algorithm gets really funky in a good way. Okay, so what I wanted to do is, I'm just going to show you here. I think I just need to a new share. Let me just do my desktop share. Okay, so now I'm sharing my desktop. I've pulled up, this is inside of Photo Mechanic now. So you can see inside of Photo Mechanic that the average portrait that we are taking as photographers, we have photos that are shot left of center, right of center. We have center. Here's left again. Here's a little off. Here's up high in the frame. Here's to the left again. Here's just off. Here's center. Here's a little off again and a little off again. So our subjects are all over the place in the frame. Sometimes they're high, sometimes they're low. They're all over the place. So what this script does is this script actually will find where your subject is. And then when it comes to doing things like square crops or circle crops, or maybe you're doing You're taking a picture like this, and we'll do it. We'll actually bring up a 5 by 7. So this is cropped 8 by 10 right now. What happens when I want to do a 5 by 7, right? So if I didn't do this script and I said, give me a 5 by 7, automatically it's going to try to do a 5 by 7 in the center based on the center of this frame. I think anytime you call up Photoshop and you tell it to do a crop, it's going to crop from the center of whatever the image is. This script actually finds the subject and it will move that crop over in order to accommodate it. And that's why this is such a cool script, and this is why you've spent the money. Okay, so let's go back into Photoshop and I'll show you what's going on here. So I want to do a circle now, and I want that circle. I'm just going to set it. I can change the color of my background of the stroke around the circle. I can change that. I can change the size of the stroke if I wanted to. I'm just going to keep it white right now. If I want to, I can go in here and I can change the colors all I want. I can go ahead and make the background black or red or whatever color I want to do. Um, totally fine. Let's just go right back here to white. I want white. And let's just close that. And I can also choose a polygon. I can choose the number of sides that I want. I could choose a triangle at 3. I could choose 4. I could choose 5. I could choose 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14. However many sides I want, it will automatically create that shape. Who knows what your clients are going to want. But right now, I'm just going to choose circle for now. And then moving over to image enhance. Image enhance, there's something I learned a long time ago, and it was how to create a little more contrast, a little more pop in my images very simply. So there's a special technique that I used to use, and I was like, this is just screaming to have that applied to it. So it's basically an unsharp mask type of thing that we're applying to this image, and it's going to increase your black point, and it's going to pop your highlights a little bit. Okay, so it's going to make your image pop a little bit more, and that's why I called it the James pop. But you can put it in at 25, 50, 75, or 100% based on your original image. And what I found was oftentimes when I shrink an image down, oftentimes people would want to like resharpen images and that, but that's so subjective and that's hard for me to calculate what everybody's taste is going to be. So here what we did is we did this little pop uh, operation to the files, and you can turn it off or you can use it if you like it. I tend to really like it. And so I'll keep it typically at 75% the way I go. Um, and that's a free little thing that's thrown into the software. It's one of our latest additions. The other thing that my clients always ask for, um, and well, I can't even say that they always ask for it, but I throw it in, and when I do, the clients just absolutely love when I do it. And that is the black and white copy. So this is going to create a black and white copy that's pretty decent black and white copy. I know a lot of us have our own standards of black and white. And if you do have a very particular style and taste of black and white, then I suggest that you generate your black and white ahead of time and then run the script on this. But if you have color photos and you want to add just a free image, it's going to cost you nothing to do this, right? It takes 2 seconds for the application to do it. It's going to take that crop and it's going to apply my version of a black and white, and I think you're going to like it. And it will have the pop applied to it, and it will do a black and white copy, which is a pretty decent black and white. The other thing here is the metadata. The metadata, sometimes we have our copyright, sometimes we have our other information that's copied, embedded into our metadata. But on save, sometimes that information gets stripped out. So here you have the opportunity to preserve the copyright info on the save. Okay, so you can check for it to go ahead and preserve that copyright information. And the last one is color space. You can convert this to an sRGB color space, which is personally one that I use all the time, especially with headshot type of work. Um, or you can choose not to if you have an Adobe 98 workflow and prefer to do that. But the one thing that I've found more times than not when I have images that just aren't looking right online or whatever, it's because I haven't embedded whatever profile it is into the file. So I need to bake that profile into the file so that no matter who's reading it, where they're reading it, or whatever, they're seeing that this image is in Adobe 98 or uh, uh, sRGB 1961 or whatever the case may be, whatever the profile is, I want it baked into the photo so that whatever instrument is viewing it is going to recall the accurate colors. So embedding the color profile is super important, and that's why I've included it here. Okay, so right now we've created a big old circle. It's going to be 100% of the photo. It's going to be a one-to-one. It's going to be a circle within a square, which is perfect. It's going to have a white background. It's going to have a James pop. We're going to do a black and white copy of it. And uh, we're not going to worry about copyright, and we're going to embed the color profile as well. Okay. So after I've done all of this, I'm going to hit apply, and it says update successful. And so this new recipe is here that we've created. Okay. Now I want to create another one while we're at it. So now I'm going to create another one, and I'm going to call this a 5x7. You'll recall that uh, in the sample images I showed you, there were a bunch of 8x10s that were horizontal. So now I'm going to try to do a 5x7 that's portrait, and we're going to see how this uh, script deals with that. So again, I want to use 100% of the photo. I don't want to shrink down these photos at all. And I could, if I wanted to, I could just say, hey, I want this um, 1500 pixels by 2100 pixels. I could do that if I wanted to. And it would take the image and it would do the crop and it would shrink the image accordingly. So here I want to go width is going to be 5, height is going to be 7, and there's going to be no shape to this. It's just a custom profile. I am not going to go for the black and white here, and I am going to say none as far as the image enhancements go. Oh, why not? Let's go for 100. And again, I'm going to do those changes as far as embedding the profile. So again, once I've done this change, I'm going to apply. Anytime I add something, I'm going to apply it. And I need to find out where I'm going to be taking these photos from. So this is my test results 2 is my destination. And I am going to go, where was it? Send it test. This should have a series of images into it. That's that one. So what I've done is I've told it to choose this folder right here with all of these images. And we know that all those heads are all over the place. And we've told it to do a big old circle and a 5x7 crop. And we're going to see how it goes. Now, before I do this, I just want to share something else with you. You can take this recipe, however I build it out, and I can hit save. Okay. I can save this as a list of options, not a problem. And I can export this. If I have a series of shots that I'm doing and I want to share it to another system or another computer or whatever it may be, I can go ahead and export it as a TXT. It's a text file, and it will export just as a text, and then you can come in and change the file name of that, and then just import it as such, and it will have all the instructions all the same that you want. So you have those opportunities, and then you can always just import from here another set of tests of recipes that you have here. But anyways, let's take a look at this. We are going to source the test folder with all those images, and we're going to drop them into the test results 2 folder. We're going to create subfolders here, and we're going to do a big old circle, and we're going to do a 5 by 7. The big old circle is going to be doing the circle, and it's going to be doing a black and white circle. And then we have a 5 by 7 that's going portrait on those horizontals. So let's go ahead and hit process. And we are going to watch as the program goes ahead and does its magic on all of these files. So you can see it's going ahead and it's picking out where these people are. It's going ahead and detecting where the subject is, and it's running its course through here. It's going to do it twice because it's doing 2 different actions. Now, obviously, if you had a portfolio of like 16, 20, 30 images, you may not want to do multiple actions per person. You may want to, do it in shorter blips, but it still has to do all these actions. It is Photoshop, and depending on what machine you're on, how many cores you have, or whatever, the speed will be determined by those factors of your machine. And we're going real time here. So this is an old Intel machine, so it's pretty slow. Um, Nothing blazing fast. I can say the M1s, M2s are much faster on this. And when I do this script with PNGs make it considerably slower. There's just no way of getting around that. That's just Photoshop's processing time. Although we are trying to optimize. We're almost done here. So you can see all of these shots, our figures are a little to the left, a little to the right. They're all over the place. Um, and what the script is going to do is it's going to try to find the center point to that face, no matter where it is. Okay, so here we go. So here we can see that it's created a new set of folders. We told it to do it in test results 2. It created 2 subfolders for us. One is called 5 by 7, and the next one is called Big Ol' Circle. So in 5 by 7, we can see all the sample images that we did, and they've been renamed 5 by 7. So I can tell right off the bat just by looking at this file that, oh, okay, this is the 5 by 7 versions of that file. Okay. And if I go into the big old circle, I can see that I have a big old circle, the preset, and I can tell the black and whites from the JPEGs. Okay. And those are all there for the client. I could say that this is your Facebook profile, this is your LinkedIn photos, this is your whatever. Um, when clients see that we've done all the work to help them present, their investment in us and in photography the best possible way, it definitely shows that we care about how these images, not only like the creation of our images, but how our images are shown and how our images are used. It's huge value for us. So this goes a long way in taking care of your clients and making sure your clients are taken care of. And also it gets rid of all those questions like my phone doesn't open my files. Like I can't open the pictures on my phone, or the application I have is making my image look bad. Like why does my image look so terrible? And it's because, well, it's you're trying to put a 25 megabyte file into Facebook, and it's gonna obviously bring it down to 1 kilo, or 120 kilobytes or something. There's going to be a lot of stuff stripped out. So here we can take care of all of that stuff, and we really are able to present our best possible work out there. So let's take a look at what this script actually did. So this was our source, remember that. And let's go into this one here, the desktop, and this was test results 2. We're going to go here. So let's first take a look at the big old circle. So here it is. It created circular shots of all our people. So again, here was the originals with our heads all over the place, left, right, center, high, whatever. And here we are in what we've created, what the script was able to create for us really quickly. Definitely if you're doing group photography, corporate stuff or whatever, and you need the headshots of all the people and you need it done really well. Maybe you just need square shots. They want square, but you're not shooting square, right? And some people are going to be a little to the left, a little to the right, depending on where the light is and where they're standing. Instead of going through in Capture One or Lightroom individually and adjusting the crop to make sure it's center, we can do it all right here, just in this app. Super simple. And you can see the quality of the black and white that it did here as well. So here's the color, and here's the black and white. Color, black and white, black and white. So it does a pretty decent black and white. And if you needed to, of course, color to taste. Come in with the levels or whatever you need to do if it doesn't fit your bill. And I think this was 75% pop, so they could still do a little bit on the pop. But now let's take a look at what happened. Remember, we had this, and these are all portraits, except are all landscape horizontal shots. And this is the only portrait. So what does it do when we ask it to take a landscape and turn a portrait, right? So let's go take a look at what it did there. And there you go. It went ahead and did the 5x7 portrait of all the images. It found the person within the frame and it did a portrait centering them inside of the frame. And again, it did 100%. So it took the dimension, the shortest dimension, and it made that the biggest. Similar with the circle. Let's go back to the circle. When we asked for it to be 100%, right? It took the shortest part, not the, remember this shot where she was up high in the frame. So it took the shortest dimension as the radius or the radius, right, of the photo, and then did the circle accordingly. Here, this was a landscape, so the radius, the shortest radius was from the top of the photo to the bottom of the photo, not from left to right. So it did that as the radius and then did the circle around there. So this is what the app is doing, and you can set it up to work on many photos at a time or just a few photos at a time. And when you have, you know, so many photos all over the place, and whether you have real action type of stuff or whatever, this program does very well at going ahead and finding the subject and really isolating those things. So let's go here, FS 3189. Let's go find this photo here. So I'm just going to write that down, 3189. Let's get this guy in the chair. Okay. Quickly here. Function F10, because that's my shortcut. Maybe I have to be in actual. Okay. So I'm going to go source. Oh, cancel. What I want to do now is I want to go to single. So I'm going to turn off multi. I'm just going to go into single. I'm still going to have the same results folder. And I am going to go into the desktop, and I'm going to go desktop, and I'm going to go to SENDIT FSA, and it was 3189. Let's go through it by name. 3189. There we go. So I got this guy, and I want to, let's just say I want to do the big old circle, and I want to do the 5x7 on him alone. And I don't want to do the subfolders. I just want it to create it and throw it right into that one right there. I want to do this big old circle. I'm going to do the 100% pop this time. Remember, I'm going to hit apply, so that takes care of that. And let's just actually do it here. I'll show you guys the difference, the PNG, and I'm going to turn off the background because I want the big old circle to be a thing. And you're going to see that this one image takes, like, it's going to take almost a minute for it to process on this computer. It might be a little faster on other computers. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to process this image right here, and let's see what results we get. It's still working here. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. So here we see that it created 3 files. And this is the 3 files that we thought we'd see. And let's go back here to test results. There we go. It took him, found him, did the vertical 5x7. It did the black and white with a little pop and the contrast. And it did the circle here as well. Okay. And this is a transparent, oh, it did it as a JPEG. I didn't save it as a PSD. Well, that's interesting. Let's go back here, scripts. Version 4. Ah, that's because, remember, I didn't go ahead and set that and go apply. That's why. Always hit apply. Glad you saw what happened there. So that one should now be PNGs. So I thought that was awfully fast for it to do that. So what are you guys thinking so far? Pretty cool, eh? And as I mentioned before in the introduction, this is going to be a work in progress. We are going to continually update this piece of software as we can refine certain aspects of it. We already know, and we'll be working on this to give you guys free updates for the year on the software. So we're really looking forward to that for you guys. Okay. So here we go. Here are the PNG versions. So you can see it's a complete transparent background, which is great if you're building websites or whatever you may want to do. We can do it that way. And if we go in here, we might as well show you scripts version 4. Let's just take this big old circle, and we're going to create a polygon with it. And how many sides do you guys want to do? I don't know. Let's go 12 sides. I don't know. Let's do 12 sides. Again, apply. Successful update. And let's turn off the 5x7 this time. Okay, so I've just turned that off. I'm going to apply that. So it's only going to do this big circle, which is going to be a polygon with 12 sides. I don't need a black and white on this one. So let's just do the one shot here. And let's see what it comes up with. So we asked for a polygon with 12 sides as a PNG, and let's see what it comes up with. And again, the PNGs take a little more time, which is okay. There we go. And let's go back here, and it's going to show us, there we go. We have a polygon. Polygon with 12 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. Polygon with 12 sides. And this dude is right smack in the center. So then the other thing that we saw was, I'm going to go back here. I'll show you the difference of that and the center, what happens when we do center. So let's take this guy and let's get him off PNG. We don't need PNGs anymore. Let's just do a JPEG and we'll do this. And then what happens if I hit center? Okay. So if I hit center, suddenly I'm going to be focusing in right on his head. Okay. So let's go here and we're going to go center. And let's see what the script does now. It's detected him and it's going to find his face. It's going to give us a new image here again. No, I didn't hit the thing again. Did I? No, I didn't hit the thing again. Heck nabbit. Yeah, I didn't hit. Okay, so file. See, guys, it's important. Even I forgot how to do it. Send it version 4. Here we go. Change it to JPEG. I'm going to take off the black and white copy. And what were we doing? We were doing the center. And then we're going to apply that change. Okay, so it's just applying to that change. Let's go process. So we're JPEG, polygon, and we're now centered. Now we're going to get it. Look at that. It just did a really tight crop. And let's see what it comes up with. And here it is. It just came in and did a tight crop of that person. Okay, and we can see originally we were dealing with 3500. That was the full dimensions, 3500, and it did a crop of him at 172 by 1792. 1792 by 1792 is what it gave us. So it's going to take it's going to take that centering and it's going to just crop right in on the head. So it's if you have these images that are wide out and you really want to just get in on the face, then use the center function. Otherwise, the aware is the way to go. All right, so that's a quick rundown of the app and how it's running and its functions. If you guys have any more questions or need any more support, please don't hesitate to drop me a line and ask me. I want this to be a working tool that we can all use and that we can all benefit from and we can all make some money from. That's the whole game of this. So thanks again for your support. Thank you for buying the app. If you bought a t-shirt, thanks for buying a t-shirt as well. Hope you enjoy them. And if you have ideas or other things that you would like added to the app, let us know because we're trying to build this out as Adobe is introducing so many new features. There's so many other things that we're capable of doing, and we're already playing with a bunch. And I'm super excited about those developments too. But right now, this is an incredible piece of software that is going to make you money and save you time and make your clients very happy. So please enjoy and look forward to hearing your feedback and ultimately enjoy, guys. And thank you again for supporting this project. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.